Good morning and welcome to Superscreen News at 10, reaching you from Lagos, Nigeria. I am Olamide Onwuka. Many thanks for joining us. The Senate's delegation will meet with President Muhammadu Buhari today over an allegation by Senator Bukola Saraki against the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris. The Senate disclosed that the meeting will hold after today's plenary session. You will recall that the Senate President, Saraki, had alleged Idris planned to implicate him in the trial of some suspected cult members arrested in Kwara State. The members of the delegation to be led by Saraki are Majority Leader Ahmad Lawan, Minority Leader Godswill Akpabio, Chief Whip Shola Adeyeye, Senator Danjuma Agoje, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, Senator Samuel Ego, Senator Aliyu Wamako, Fatima Raji, and Senator Oluremi Tinubu. A coalition for northern groups of Nigeria in Kaduna has asked President Muhammadu Buhari and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, who are above 70 years of age, not to contest in the 2019 elections. The CNG's position was contained in a communique issued shortly after the end of a two-day summit which was held at the Arewa House, Kaduna State. The group said the country should be led by young Nigerians that will take it to the promised land. The group and the national president of the AYCF, Shatima Yarima, said the coalition believed that though it is the right of President Buhari and Atiku to contest, adding that it is now left for Nigerians to decide their fate. A former president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, has paid a visit to the leader of the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Political Organization, Afenifere. The meeting, which lasted for almost 30 minutes, had the former president calling for cooperation of a group to save Nigeria from collapsing. Speaking during the visit, Obasanjo commended the Afenifere for being at the forefront of fighting for the interest of the Yoruba nation. Reacting to this, the leader of the group, Fashoranti, said the visit of the former president is historic and first in about 20 years, adding that the Yoruba group is in support of the former president's moves to achieve peaceful and virile Nigeria. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has unveiled what he described as the upgraded website of his office, www.osgf.gov.ng. Mustafa, while speaking during the event in Abuja, said it is important to make information on government activities readily available for Nigerians. According to him, it is necessary because information drives the nation and investment as well as development in all spheres.
Most government institutions always would put up a website, but to keep the contents relevant and material at every given time has always been the challenge. But as far as the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation is concerned, is that we will make every deliberate effort at whatever cost to ensure, bearing in mind our responsibility as the office that coordinates government activities, the office that formulates policies for government, the office that serves as the engine house of the government, we will make every effort to ensure that our website is current in terms of information, is active, is interactive, and it creates a forum for e-participation so that the people of the country would interrogate government activities because they have the right to interrogate government activities. And we have a duty and a responsibility to offer them solutions, to offer them answers whenever they interrogate government activities. The citizens of this country, for whatever reason they decide to be critical of government, it's not that they hate the government. They want the government to improve on the services because they are citizens and they have a legitimate right and a claim to see that their government is working assiduously to meet their aspirations and their earnings. So with these very few remarks, I want to thank you for all efforts that have been put into this, particularly those of you that serve on the content committee, those of you that drove the process, and for even our consultants and contractors.
The SGF also said arrangements are being concluded to train officials from ministries, departments, and agencies who will be handling the different segments of the website. On the spot, the Permanent Secretary General Services Office of the SGF, Olusegun Adekunle, said there is a plan to train initial 50 officers for the 6th office.
An easy task, but it is bringing governance to the people and involving the people in the process. Secretary to the government, this is in a nutshell what we're doing today. But the stages are this. There are 6 offices in the office of the Secretary to the government. All of this, each of these offices will have content managers that will pass through a channel of authorization before they can upload information to the website, so that people can get informed about what is going on in government. We also have the backup from Galaxy. The SMTP is being set up as the text messaging system that can inform members of the public on the status of action on activities, on the inquiries that they have made. We also have the training plan for our officers. At the initial stage, 50 will be trained, selected from each of the 6 offices. And this will go down the line subsequently.
The Abuja Division of the Federal High Court has ordered the arrest of a sacked private investigator for Special Presidential Investigation Panel for the Recovery of Public Property, Victor Uwaje. SPRPP recently sacked Uwaje, who was the chief investigator of the United Kingdom-based Global Private Investigators, for not disclosing that there were pending criminal charges against him as of the time it engaged him. Justice John Cho issued an arrest warrant against him following his repeated refusal to attend court to face criminal charges preferred against him by the Attorney General of the Federation's office. You will recall that the office of the AGF had since September 19, 2017 filed 4 counts against him. Lawmaker representing Kogi West Senatorial District, Senator Dino Melaye, has thanked Nigerians for standing by him during his travails in the hands of those he described as the state. Melaye, in a lengthy write-up posted on Facebook today, alleged that his trials were employed by the state to silence him. The lawmaker, however, said he is now more resolute in his convictions, and Melaye is being prosecuted by Nigerian police in 2 separate courts. While he's standing trial in the Lokoja, Kogi State for court and charges bordering around gun running, he's also in trial in Abuja for attempted suicide, amongst other charges. The 2 Catholic priests and 17 parishioners slain by suspected herdsmen will be buried today in Benue State. Governor Samuel Ortom has declared today walk-free to honor the departed clerics. The Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria has also directed all Catholic faithfuls across the country to embark on a peaceful and prayerful protest tagged March for the Life Today. The Police Service Commission, PSC, has shortlisted a total of 37,062 candidates for examination out of a total of 133,324 applicants who were earlier shortlisted for screening in the ongoing police recruitment exercise. PSC Head Press and Public Relations Officer Ike Chukwani, who disclosed this in a statement, said the examination is scheduled for Friday, May 25th at the Computer-Based Test Center all over the country in the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The statement said the candidates who are yet to receive any invitation are required to check at the State Police Command headquarters for the date, venue, and time of the exams. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll take some business stories. Stay with us.
Before they come, they're supposed to, give us some information, notice, at least maybe a week or so. There was nothing like that.
Hunger is everywhere in Nigeria. People are dying every day, but Nigeria government are keeping quiet. Housemen are killing people. Why? It's not what we expected because of these old men that are leading us, and you people know, you are aware that these people are not the right people to lead us. These kind of people that are leading us here are people of black mind. They just care about themselves and their family. You are affecting my village. Let me use if I call it useless, I'm not a mistake. The other place where they build a shop, call it plaza. Say each shop they are 4 million naira. So I don't have the money, so I have to leave. If you plan to get a tribal mark, it takes a lot of pain, but after some time, you enjoy it. No, we experience hold up now during the construction time. Then after some time, we start enjoying it.
The way they are doing the construction is too slow. It's too slow. The construction is too slow. They should stop the construction and make sure people go into their businesses and do their businesses.
Welcome back, and now for some business story. The federal government has been urged to reduce the economic burden on Nigerians. This appeal was made by some traders in an interview with Superscreen's Abigail Nana and Tolulope Ojeme while conducting a market survey in Mushin area of Lagos State. Market women and men have called on President Muhammadu Buhari and his team to work on making the nation's economy better such that prices of commodities can be affordable to all Nigerians. These traders bear their minds on the astronomically high prices of food items in an interview with Superscreen crew while conducting a market survey in Mushin area of Lagos. The survey shows that a bag of onion that sells for 10,000 naira before now goes for 15,000 naira, while a bag of rice which sells for 14,000 naira before is now sold for 16,000 naira. On the other hand, a derrick of rice now sells for 250 naira instead of 220 naira.
Before we sell 14,000, but now it's 16,000.
16,000 a bag?
Yes, ma'am.
Onions. Before na 10,000 naira, now na 15. Everything don't cost you. Make it help Buhari or make it help us you.
One tuber of this yam, they gather like this, 100 pieces or 200 pieces. For one like this, if I won't buy one like this, I buy on 600. Before, by the time of new yam, maybe if you buy this one like 350 or 300. So before go reach here 400, but now because yam don't dry now, I buy with my 600 for grand for one. Before go reach here 650. So I no gain for market now. It's too cost. Even from now, before go sell and finish, some don't spoil.
For Gary, the price remains the same, with the bag still selling at 6,000 naira.
Before we said 6,000, but Gary is still stable for now.
The most striking increase of these commodities is pepper, and especially tomatoes and melon. A derrick of melon, which was sold for 250 naira, now sells for between 800 and 1,000 naira.
Before, tomato is very cheap, but now it's very cost. The price we are buying it now, 35, 32, 28 now. Before we are buying it 15, 10, 7,000. Before last year, we are buying it 3,5. But now 35. People say they cannot buy it.
Melon is very, very cost. Before we said 250, but now it's 800 now.
On the other hand, prices of vegetable oil has produced and reduced a bit. For instance, a 25 liter that goes for 13,000 naira now sells for 12,000 naira. But it is not the same with palm oil, because 25 liter now sells for 10,000 naira instead of 4,000 naira.
Before we are buying vegetable oil, the 25 liter, we are buying at the rate of 13,000 naira. But now it's 12,000. We are buying the palm oil at the rate of 4,000 something. Before, but now it's 10,000 naira. 10,000 naira.
How does it really affect you now that you are buying?
It really affects us too much. And now we have low price and low sales now. Before, when the market is not moving at all, the time we are selling at 4,000 naira, markets move. But now, market is very dull.
Our President Buhari with a beggar, and the place where they now make will help us put money for outside. Money no day. If the money they outside, everybody go buy the thing we like. So with the beggar now, they could look our problem. Mekunu now it they suffer well. No be small.
The government should help us. There's nothing we can do. Only government that can help us, because the price is too much and there's no gain at all.
Make it help us. Make it put money for outside. No money, oh.
They are however hopeful that the government will address inflation in the country. This, they believe, will reduce the hardship on Nigerians. United States-based investor Ameri Metro Incorporation has declared its readiness to provide $10 billion for the construction of speed rails in Nigeria. The firm told the federal government that it had the capacity to fund rail projects across the country while making a presentation at the headquarters of the Federal Ministry of Transportation in Abuja. Officials of the firm, who were hosted by the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, said they decided to show interest in the rail projects after it was confirmed that the Chinese group that was initially built to handle them would not be able to deliver on the project as planned. Speaking after a meeting with officials of the federal government, the founder, Ameri Metro Incorporation, Shah Matthias, said they are in the design process and their goal is to build it. The federal government has announced that about 1.7 trillion naira will be invested by various stakeholders in the Niger Delta between this year and 2021. The special advisor in the Niger Delta affairs of the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Charles Achodo, disclosed this at the 7th Sustainability and Interactive Conference in Abuja. Achodo said the fund will be spent on the development of a region, adding that about 50 billion naira had been spent on the payment of stipends to ex-militants from the area. And still talking business, African Development Bank, AFDB, President Akinwumi Adesina has advised government to create the right environment for an industrial revolution. According to a statement by the AFDB, Adesina gave the advice at the 53rd meeting of the bank in Korea. Adesina said Korea's example is incredible, and Korea was once as poor as any African nation in the 1960s with a low capital per income, and today the determination of its people and its commitment to industrialization, Korea is now the 11th biggest economy in the world. The AFDB president said African governments should create the right environment for the private sector to lead the continent's industrial revolution at once. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll take some foreign news and some sports stories. Stay with us. Welcome back, and now for some foreign stories. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani says the world will not accept United States unilateralism just hours after Washington, D.C. laid out a series of tough demands to be included in a potential new nuclear treaty with Iran. Rouhani said the era of U.S. making decisions for the rest of the world is over, adding that countries are independent and will continue their part with the support of the nation. You will recall that